Alright, we are live. It is Thursday. It is hot as can be in here. Hope everybody's having a good week so far. We've got some angry bits of sky hanging around nearby. I don't think it's going to be an issue for us because it seems to be off to our east, but we will see. There's a chance it could backfill. But we can't do anything about that until it happens, so we will just have to kind of play that one by ear. If I can get my needle threaded. Okay. That. All right. So we are going to pick up where we left off on our big chicken. Here. Try to get like a directional line kind of worked in here so that I can work backwards from that. Kind of, sort of. Hopefully that's not the same hole. I don't believe it to be. So I'll take that one to there. And so it's going to kind of come up to here. Yeah, so I hope everybody's doing okay today. I did get some more Bookshop Simulator ordered earlier today. So we got that going. Kind of, sort of. And we're making pretty good progress there. But I'm also quite a number of episodes ahead. I've got about a month's worth recorded so far. That I am putting away to hold on to. that I will post as we need them, because I'm going to need at least a week's worth of filler stuff. Potentially a week and a half for while we are out of town. We will see how much I can get through. Hoping I can, well, I'm not going to be able to get anything really recorded on that tomorrow because I have some errands I have to run. And I'll probably spend most of Saturday editing. In between redoing my hair. Because that really needs to be redone if I'm going to redo it. Kind of, sort of. I guess I'll come up there. Oh my goodness, I do not know why. It feels like it is 90 degrees in here. This is crazy. It wasn't quite like it was hot out, but we weren't under a heat advisory, which I did find strange because our feels like temperature was at like 108 earlier this evening. This guy. So I looked up like when I should be replacing my embroidery needle, and the answers I was getting back were like, oh, at the start of every new project. I'm like, what? Why? Some people are like, oh, well, if the metal bends. And I'm like, okay. Oh, well, when it breaks. And I'm like, this doesn't really feel all that dull. Um, and then a lot of it seems to, whoa. Let's not do that now. And then a lot of the answers seems to be like embroidery machine needles. And they're like, oh, after every like 8 to 10 hours of stitching, and I'm like, I've been using this needle for an embarrassingly long amount of time. If that's how often I'm supposed to be changing it. And other people were like, nah, I change mine on every new project. And I'm like, that's a lot of needles. Like, a lot of needles. I'm not really sure what the right answer is. Or somebody just kind of doing this by hand. Like, it's not getting caught on anything. Like, not the tip of the needle. Other people are like, oh yeah, well my needle starts making a popping noise, and I'm like, what the hell does that sound like? Like my fabric's making a popping noise. But my needle's not. So I'm confused. And after some of the things I've been seeing AI overview giving people as answers, I don't really trust the AI overview on Google. And definitely take it with a grain of salt. For sure. So I've been trying to get some other answers aside from that. And like, I don't know, like, and then I was seeing people saying, I broke 2 embroidery needles tonight. I'm like, how are you breaking 2 embroidery needles if you're embroidering by hand in one night? How? I think I'm using a Creole needle. Not Creole needle, Crew needle? Cruel needle? How the heck you pronounce it? I don't know if that's why my needle's lasting longer. I've never heard of anyone breaking these from just sewing by hand, which is why I felt like that was an embroidery machine needle that they were referring to. Because I've known needles in a machine to break if they like hit a pin or something. Like, I know that can happen with my limited sewing machine experience. My grandmother had an old Singer sewing machine that had the large black foot the foot treadle, is that what it was? And then she, as she got older, and I guess just couldn't deal with that anymore. She had it converted to electric with an electric foot pedal. That thing was quite a beast. It had its own little table, and I don't know if it flipped up, but it definitely had like side tables to it. Trying to make sure I keep that slight angle I've got going here. I would have started a little sooner, but we suddenly had to deal with some stuff. All right. Yeah, everything's still pretty much off to our east. Our county might not even get anything. I kind of wish we would get some kind of rain, because it's getting very dry now. We're not in a burn ban per se, but they've got signs up around town now calling for a burn alert. So probably like one step before a burn ban. Something like that. And old man is being grumbly and angry because he didn't get to go do things. But it is much too hot out. What is it currently? I know, I am melting. Hey Tommy, how are you? It's currently 90 and feels like 97, so it's a little better than it was, but it's still not great. How are you doing? And what have you been up to? Still feels pretty good there. I don't think we have too many issues. Never did farmers market this summer, and I think we're gonna wait till spring. I might throw what I have up on eBay just over winter. I don't have to pay a listing fee on it. But I don't know. It was a pain in the ass the last time I was trying to list everything because they want the package weight, and I'm like, but I don't know how much it is. I haven't packaged it to ship yet, and we had to like mock up everything. And then we didn't end up selling it. So that was a right pain in the ass. We've been getting hammered with the heat as well the other day. 122? Jesus Christ, where the fuck are you at? What state? Don't say your city. Like, what part of the country? Out west? God damn. No offense, but you can keep that. I don't want that. Nebraska? Okay. Oh, that's right. You're not that far. Slightly north of us. Yeah, today we had a feels like of 108 or 109 at one point. We weren't in any heat advisories, which I thought was odd, but they chose not to. We've got some thunderstorms milling about just to our east. My mom seems to be under the impression that we're going to be getting weather tomorrow during the day because she originally wanted to go to the store, but now she's like, oh, I don't want to be out if it's storming. She's like, but I don't want you guys to leave me here if it's storming. I'm like, well, I have to go out tomorrow regardless, but somebody has to be here if it's supposed to storm so the dog doesn't have a meltdown. Because if nobody's here, he is liable to hurt himself and be in a right panic. But I need to get a couple of storage containers for my embroidery floss, and I need to get a new bottle of hair dye. My pink is in sore need of being redone. And we need some guinea pig vegetables. Oh, and I need some like blank, not necessarily address labels, but something like that. Alright, I guess I'll come up through here. So I'm just kind of slowly layering this in. Trying to do like a version of long short stitches. To kind of like not really mimic feathers, but it's just a way to kind of fill in solid or even variegated large areas. Because satin stitch would be a bit much for this. I will say that. Yeah, it is hot in this house. It is very warm in the room that I am in right now. Probably about 88 degrees in here. And that's with the house AC running. The rest of the house isn't so bad. It's just this room. But the heat from the kitchen tends to drift into here when we're making dinner, which doesn't help. We are right off of the kitchen. Like, I had a frozen bottle of water sitting in a cup next to me, kind of in front of my fan. It was helping a fraction to cool the air off a little bit that was hitting me, but I put that bottle in there in this cup right before we got started. And it's probably over halfway melted, and it's only been about 20 minutes. So that's not great. You don't normally give out information, but you do limit it to closest. Yeah, like, I'll reference Fayetteville, but we're not in Fayetteville. There's a lot of areas around here. A lot of little towns and stuff. Like, select people know where I'm at, but that's because I've known them long enough where I'm comfortable with that, or they have received gifts or purchased something from me, and they know a little bit more narrowed down of an area to where I'm at. But we're gonna be probably leaving this area within a couple years anyway, so that's fine. Yeah, no. Yeah, I just wanted to make sure. Some people will just like go right for it. It's like, no, just what area of the country you're in is more than enough. I didn't know it got quite that hot in Nebraska. My goodness, no thank you. This is a lot for me. This is a lot for the husband. And we've been here for a while. Doesn't make it any easier to get used to. It's not as humid as New Jersey was at times, but like there'd be times where it was so humid in New Jersey where like even the high 90s when you stepped out, it was like your breath was just taken away.
I'm gonna borrow my wife for just a moment.
Uh-oh. I'll be right back. I'll still be here sewing, but I'm gonna mute. Alright, sorry about that. We had a shitstorm of bullshit dropped on us right before I went live earlier, and the husband was in the middle of doing research trying to keep me from completely spiraling out and becoming a complete basket case. We have potentially found answers to some of our questions, because our autistic muffin asses, this is a whole brand new realm of shitstorm that we've not dealt with before. And there is one glaring issue that we still need to find out about, but we can't do anything about that until, at the very least, tomorrow. Gotta love it when people don't keep their word. This is why I have trust issues with people. They say they're gonna do one thing, and then out of nowhere, before the time frame of that one thing is even close to being up, they pull the rug out from under you and change it up entirely. And be like, we're doing this now. What? No, that's not what you told me. You said I had X amount of time to deal with this, and we were working on dealing with it. Changed my mind, not doing that anymore. Thanks so much. Thanks so very much. And it wasn't something minor either. It's a big deal. So I'm like, great. Like, a big deal as involving property in large sums of money, potentially causing problems and all that, needing to be paid, but we don't have. I'm a little extra scattered today. Because someone decided that they live their life on a whim and knew very well what they were doing and just didn't include us in the loop when we needed to be included in. Kind of mad because it felt like we were told as an afterthought about the change in a timeline just off the cuff. Like, oh yeah, we're doing this now. Sorry, what? That's not what you said. Yay, it's people being shit. Like, what happened wasn't a complete surprise, but the timeline changing on it definitely was. Alright, so I've got a couple more strands I need to work into here. But yeah, like, this heat is just getting to be too much. The dog was panting in here and starting to sass me about wanting to go outside. I'm like, dude, no. It's hot out. Like, what do you think? It's gonna be any cooler outside? I mean, sometimes it is, but it's not right now. There are the occasions where it is cooler outside than it is in here. This is not one of those types. The place that we are thinking about relocating to. That's the heat advisory for tomorrow. Let's see. What is it there right now? I can be envious of their weather at the moment. So it's 86 with a feels like of 92 there, with a chance of rain showers this evening. I'll take that. I'll take that. That's better than here. I'm okay with that. The rain showers don't bother me that much. I'm cool with that. Alright. Gonna need to rethread this guy here in just a minute. So let's see here. Probably a good time to do that. I've gotten a bit filled in there. Yeah, the back doesn't look too bad. It's not looking too shabby at all. Okay, so there's that. And we'll pop that there. And we'll go ahead and we'll flip this guy up. Try to get the angle sorted there. Alright, I do need to... Ow, that was the wrong end of the needle. Surprise! Okay, so we only have one more strand of this. That hasn't been separated after this one. We'll see if we have enough. I hope so, because I don't think I have a color close to this. Here, happy birthday! Have a complete anxiety crash out. So now my brain's gonna be extra stupid about picking out my birthday present. Even though I already had picked out, now I'm gonna be like scrutinizing. Just feel like that snowman from, what was it? The stop animation? Frosty the Snowman? That I grew up with as a kid, where Frosty comes life and he goes, "Happy birthday!" Ugh. Because we have personal property that gets looped into property taxes around here. So we're like, we don't have car inspection, but we have to pay taxes on the car and the trailer that we have every year. I don't think we don't really pay on like the stuff in the house, but like the larger things we do. We have to declare certain things that we own. Hi, Mr. Dog. Whatever could be the matter at 8:40? Hi. What's up? Are you looking for a bacony good time? You are going to have to talk to Dad about that. Or I'm in the middle of something. Oh dear. No. Don't do that. Don't need you doing that nonsense. Oh. When did that happen? Hi, man. I have littles. And I have no idea when. When did you show up? Looks like you've been settled in there for a while. I didn't hear you jump up. I didn't even hear you come in the room. You usually announce yourself. How's that new cat food treating you? I haven't had to refill that cat food bowl like 6 times today. So if nothing else, it's helping with that. Unless you've just been in a nappy mood all day. Which, you know, fair. Very fair. But yes, trying to navigate the world of real estate when you know nothing about it. Suddenly dropped into your lap is not a fun time. It's really not. Especially when there are a few other complications along with it. So that's not cool. So hopefully the bank will at least be willing to talk to us about the one complication.
They can at least give me an idea on what I need to do. Obviously, they can't do nothing until my mother's here, but...
Yeah, no, but I'm hoping that they can at least give us some idea of how this is going to go. Or what's going to be expected. Or what all is going to happen. Because this has been a cloud hanging over our heads for some time. And I want this dealt with before she leaves this state again. One way or another. Okay. Just changing how I'm sitting here. Okay. Oh my god, it is so disgustingly hot in this house. And I refuse. I dead ass refuse to get a window unit to plug in for just this room to run up the electric bill even more. Not doing it. Especially not now. We will figure it the fuck out. We will move into the other room after my mother-in-law moves out of her room before I will do that. In fact, we might.
We might.
But
Like,
the only problem...
We legit might, after that's done, like, make that the sleep room.
Yeah, I was gonna say, because the only problem is we can't move the computers in there because the, this room has the specific grounded outlets that we had the electrician do for the PCs when we had to have the electrical work done to keep the circuit breaker from popping all the time. That room does not have that. Well, we might be able to get away with one of them in there, but we might move our bed into that room and just have this be the fuck all room. And just be out here during the day. We can move her shitty twin bed since I don't think she's taking that with her.
We can eat that. We don't.
Well, I mean, it can be in here just for something to sit on for when we're in this room.
I suppose.
So it's not quite so echoey when we move the other stuff out of here, you know? Because I doubt she's going to be trying to take that with her. She's going to need a moving truck if they're going to do that. And that bed ain't worth moving. It wouldn't make the move. I doubt it. As old and messed up as that is. So apparently, from the sound of things, my mother-in-law is supposed to be completely moving out of here and into wherever she is staying with her sister the beginning of the year. So, while she's down here, she needs to make sure she figures out what she is doing with all of her stuff, and I don't want to hear any of her hoarding nonsense, because it will not be staying here. If she has no plans on coming back and living here, the shit's going. We are cleaning house. We are getting rid of it. It will be donated. The stuff that can be donated, I'm not going to be falling over somebody else's crap, for a better lack of a better word. If they're not even going to be coming back here for it. Sorry. We have our own junk that we need to go through. I have more craft supplies in the other room that I can go through and narrow down and get rid of. Probably donate them to the one church shop that's around here that helps community members get like utilities and stuff paid. If they qualify for their program, they use the proceeds from their little resale shop to help make that happen. I've got a bunch of stuff. we need to go through the closet while your mom is here. The closet in my mom's room.
Yep.
And I'm gonna pull out all those water globes and see if anything survived. For all I know, all the glitter has solidified. If there's even liquid still in them.
Yeah.
Because I never was able to unpack them when we moved here because the cats were going to knock them off of whatever I put them on. And at the time, they were like one of my prized possessions, and I didn't want the cats breaking them. But I never had the opportunity to get a cabinet with doors on it, like a curio cabinet, to put them in, to keep them safe. And at this point, they've been there since we moved here. And I honestly don't think that they are in any condition to be displayed. The one set, specific ones, had a lifetime guarantee on them. But I think that was like the music box. Because they were from San Francisco Music Box Company. I don't even know if they're still in business anymore.
I don't think so.
That's a good question. San Francisco. Oh, they're still in business. But at this point, I have no idea what the guarantee was, and that was like back in the 90s. So I don't even know if they would
For all I know, they got bought by venture capitalists and no longer under it.
yeah.
Because that seems to be the thing.
But I think it might have only been if the music box broke that they would replace it. Because that was one of the sticking points as to why their shit was so expensive for snow globes. They're very pretty, but it was also because of that lifetime guarantee that had existed at the time. But I don't know if you have to have the receipt. And I certainly as hell don't have the receipt now. I mean, that was like, what, 20 years ago? More than on some of them.
Even more than that, you didn't really get many when I was with you.
Yeah,
So you're probably looking at 25.
maybe 30 years ago.
Yeah. I think I only remember you ever getting like one.
Well, I was running out of room to keep them, and they were uber expensive. Had this really awesome, like, hourglass looking one that had, I think, a castle in the top and maybe Merlin in the bottom, or something like that. But even if they are in some kind of viewable condition, I'm gonna let them go.
Well, we could bring a few of us.
Maybe one or two of the more sentimental ones.
Yeah, I mean, if like you just talked about how much you like the one with the castle,
yeah.
bring that one.
If it's survived.
Granted.
Which I don't know. I have that creepy ass doll in that closet.
Oh god, you still have that?
I think so. Everybody was so dead set on me getting this doll of my grandmother's when she passed away. I hated this doll. I thought it was creepy as fuck. But everybody's like, oh no, it's worth stuff. It's a collectible. And I'm like, okay. And I just kind of put it away. And didn't really think much of it till I got older. And I was trying to figure out, where do I go to try to get this stupid thing appraised somewhere? Right? Like, I didn't know. I tried to look on the internet a couple times. I was coming up empty-handed. There's no maker's mark on this doll. None whatsoever. Not a stamp. Nothing. I have no idea who made it. The paint is all sorts of cracked and chipped on the inside. Like, when you run your fingers over it, you can't feel any of the paint cracks or anything. It's like a solid clear glaze or something over it. When you pick it up, it almost feels like glass. But it's not, because when you go to rotate the arms, it sounds almost like porcelain grinding on itself. And the arms were jointed with string. We found this out because the last time I went to pick it up and move one of the arms, it almost fell out of the doll because the strings dry rotted. And we're like, oh, okay. That's interesting. I'm beginning to think someone handmade this for her when she was a child. So I don't think, aside from sentimental value, it's worth anything monetary. And I have no idea who would be able to tell me, since there is no sort of maker on it anywhere. The hair is painted onto it, the face is painted, the entire body is painted. And it's like a tiny little infant baby doll. That has rarely seen the light of day. Because even when she had it, she kept it in a dresser drawer under several sweaters, like it was like sandwiched in between. So this thing has hardly ever seen the light of day. And I don't know what I'm supposed to do with it at this point. And I never was given the full story about it, so I don't know. Oh, damn it. I don't even know that my dad knew the full story of it. I would have been happier if I got to keep my train set. Gee, maybe that should have been a clue. I just wanted my train. That was my train. I hate family when somebody passes away. I hate my family when somebody passes away. Let me do that. Let me say that. Some families probably not as bad. And my dad's side of the family. Fucking vultures. They were like ransacking the house for everything and anything that they could get their hands on, without even stopping to think about what they were grabbing. Like, they took pictures of me with my papa. I'm like, you like laid eyes on me 4 times. Why does this picture mean anything to you? Did you think it was of your child? Because it certainly wasn't. It was me. It's the one thing I will never understand. I'm like, y'all are just so hell-bent on getting your hands on everything. Never saw those pictures again. Never got them back. Wow. That's just wrong. Absolutely wrong. Especially when I never saw half of these people come visit her, and I was there an awful lot. With both parents working, I was there 2 to 3 days during the summer. I was bouncing back and forth between there and my other babysitter that my mom was paying for. I didn't do the full week with the babysitter in the summer, though, because my mom didn't want to pay for the full week, I guess, or couldn't. So then I was like 2 to 3 days at my grandmother's house, and then 2 to 3 days, depending on the week, at my aunt's house. Just kind of depended on whose doorstep I was flung upon. I didn't really always know where I was going. You're okay, Littles. I had this like big ass canvas tote bag that like I didn't unpack because that was basically my travel entertainment for when I was at my aunt's. That and my little Barbie RV. So let's get that up through there. Old man has been bugging me, just so you know. Oh, Littles, where are you going? Hey. You don't have to leave just because I pet you. She's being spicy. What was that? Oh. Sounded like something had fallen. Whew. Really wish we had gotten some of that rain. Anything to cool it off a little bit faster in here. It's not really where I wanted to be there, but that was where the needle kept wanting to pop up from. Oh, my grandmother also had these glass swans. If anybody else remembers these growing up, so maybe her parents had them. She had this thing like on a mirrored square base. And like it was a good sized square. I don't know, maybe it's 12 by 12, 12 inches by 12 inches, something like that. Or maybe 8 by 8 on this like square mirror that was sitting on the table. And then she had this like weird glass thing in the middle I think it had a circular like base to it. It was a tube. It was hollow. You filled it with colored water. Like you took food coloring to dye the water, right? And then there was like this plasticky stuff. It kind of felt like mini blind material, but not exactly. It was a lot more flimsy. And it had like it was gathered on one end and it would sit in the middle of this like tube thing. And it would fan out on all sides and come down and touch, or just barely, maybe slightly above this glass plate, this mirrored plate. And the way it like hung around all the sides in like a circular shape. And it almost like kind of made you feel like what standing inside of a willow tree would be like, but not exactly. And then she had several different sized swans that sat around this tube thing. I don't know if it was supposed to mimic like a water fountain or what, but they were all glass, hollow swans of different sizes. I think there was a mother and a father and maybe two babies, maybe three. And she would fill them with the corresponding colored water. And she'd have to like the hole was here. And she'd have to like be really careful about how she filled it and then tipped it up, but then the water didn't like all squirt out everywhere. And it was fascinating. And like as the week would go on, the water would like evaporate down out of the like the beaks and the heads of the swans. I don't think I've ever seen anything else similar to it. I have no idea where she got it from either. She had that for as long as I can remember. And she would change the color out. Like whenever the mood struck her. So like one week it would be this color. Like I think Christmas she did either red or green. Spring she mostly did yellow. Hi, sir. I think there was a couple times she did blue. Hi. You're gonna have to settle for bacon though, because we're all out of chicken, I think. Oh no, Daddy might have saved you a piece of chicken. So there's that. All right, now, I'm down here. All right, do you want to go like straight up? Want to go like straight up maybe from here? I'm probably going to have to rethread this at least one more time. I'm going to start to work towards the area that we just filled in. She would like have it in the middle of her dining room table. But my grandmother was also a bit eccentric. Like that table used to be like a whitish color. And I don't know if this was my grandfather's idea or if she had him do it, but someone got tired of the color of the table, and he ended up sanding everything down and restaining it a different color, and I remember helping restain that table. But then she was like, "Oh no, we can't. I couldn't play. I couldn't sit there and play directly on the table." She had this like double, triple thick furniture pad or something that she would like, or this furniture pad that she was fold up to like 2 or 3 times thickness and lay that on half of the table, and I was only allowed to like play at that end of the table because she was so afraid I was going to dent or ding the table. It was very difficult to put a puzzle together on top of this furniture pad. That was deeply frustrating to my little kid brain because I'm like, but the puzzle pieces keep popping out of place. They don't want to stay because it's not on the hard surface. And she's like, it's fine. We have to do it on top of the pad. And I'm like, but puzzle don't like it. That's not how puzzles were meant to be put together. They need to be put together on a hard, flat surface, not a bumpy, spongy one. It wasn't even really spongy. It was just like trying to put together a puzzle on top of a comforter on top of a table. It was annoying as fuck. Like, I didn't have any kind of poster board or foam board or cardboard or anything underneath of it to try to work as a barrier in between. Even that would have helped to some degree. Quite possibly. Might be finally starting to cool down slightly in here. I sure hope so. I mean, I did have to mist myself there. I need to careful here because I don't want to get into the other wing color. I need to watch where I'm coming up at. Just to make sure we don't do anything too silly bears here. Okay. So this whole section in here is supposed to be some sort of tan. I swear, I feel kind of, I feel a certain way about this kit. It started out where I was really excited to see the kit picture and everything. I was like, oh yeah, this is cool. I like this. It's a cute design. And it is still a cute design. However, I did have some mixed feelings when I saw the sample finished photo. And it looks kind of sort of needle pointy. It kind of looked like the finished piece was done in yarn, which I was very confused about because I was like, that's a weird texture to be showing for embroidery floss. But then, you know, I kind of said to myself, well, it might be a slightly weird texture. However, at that same point, if you zoom in really tight on embroidery floss, it could kind of maybe look a little similar. Like if you're really like micro zoomed in. So I was like, okay, maybe we'll give it a pass. But then when I got the kit and I opened it, the colors are not the same. They are not the same. They are not the same. The finished photo of the sample, I can't say for certain is AI, but I feel like is AI now because they've got this like a burnt tan color that's the same color as this, and then this wing in the sample photo is a cream instead of the actual tan brown that is nowhere near the same color as to what they gave me. And I'm just like, really? Like, I liked the colors in the sample photo. I mean, the almost brownish red on the berries was a little weird, but I was willing to overlook that because the chickeny colors looked chickeny. They no longer seem all that chickeny as I am going along here. I mean, the shape is definitely a chicken. So I can't really fault there. But these colors are definitely 100% not the same. I mean, I just stabbed myself with this needle. It still feels plenty sharp. I don't know. I'm back to square one. If you do hand embroidery, let me know how often you switch out your needle. I need to know if I need to pick up some more more needles soon. I mean, this one's certainly showing that it's been around a little bit, but I do not know what the correct protocol is here. In the slightest. Definitely need to get some more thread going. Question is one more rethreading gonna do it? It might. Potentially. Potentially. Alright, so let's get that in there. Need to fill that little spot in. This guy. That's probably pretty good there. I'm gonna flip this up. I don't think we're gonna get as far as I wanted to today because I didn't start as early as I originally had hoped to. Because of the nonsense storm that was dropped in our lap earlier this evening. Just oh so nonchalantly. Okay, that's gonna go there. Me change how I'm sitting yet again. I was starting to really press my leg into the table. What the heck was that? That was a very strange noise. And I don't know what noise that was. But like one of the animals being ill. If you know that's a very distinct noise. But I don't know who it was. Could have also been somebody getting a drink just really weirdly. I don't see any of the animals in here, though. Oh, one of them's in here. Sorry, we turned off one of the lights in here because it's hot. Like, we turned off, like, the room light. Like, the lamp that we've got in this room. And I'm just going off of my overhead panels. Oh no, you angered Moobot. Oh no. You don't want to awaken Moobot. Hey, two of yous. What was the message today? What was today's message of nonsense? Okay. The .com one. Oh, your account was created in May of 2024. And you're just now getting around to using it? Interesting. Posted advertisement. AI viewers. Well, there's one report. Did I ban them? No, I didn't. Now they've been banned. Okay, and where's the other one? There's the other one. Again, this one was also created in 2024. That's so strange. Usually they create these accounts and they run off with them. post in advertisements. All right, let's submit that report. Yeah, okay. All right, let's hop back on in here. No, 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 no. Bottom of our floofy chicken. What the heck? Oh. I somehow managed to grab the tail there. When I pulled that through. Not entirely sure how I managed to do that. I'm seeing a few more like little green blips showing up, so hopefully we'll at least get a shower tonight. That would be lovely. This is the time of year where we start to get a bit droughty. And honestly, if the temperatures weren't going to be in the triple digits, I would have considered trying to do farmer's market this weekend. But I really don't want a whole lot of disappointment and meltiness on my birthday. There's only so much heartache a girl can take, right? I just kind of give away for tips or for free. Like I don't actually charge a fee for the stuff. Tips are nice, you know, not mandatory. And I'm not charging a pay what you can. It's just for if you would like to tip for the work done. Great, otherwise, you know, you are free to take it, but the last time we did it, the one lady that felt the need to talk to us about disciplining her granddaughter that had ADHD when she couldn't get her shit together. Like, like it's not an excuse to behave badly, but when the kid says that they are actually really trying and their brain is also like working against them, I felt real bad for that kid. It's like that kid is gonna end up going no contact with their parents or grandparents at some point. Because, oh my. Like, my husband and I were like horrified. We're like, that's not something you can discipline out of somebody, you know? Like, it's a chemical imbalance in her brain. Like, she literally cannot help how her brain is wired. I mean, it's no excuse to behave badly, and if she is, you know, behaving in a way that's going to hurt someone or herself, or, you know, being extremely disrespectful and out of line, that's something different. But she just didn't seem to understand that we weren't on her side, and we're like, you're literally depending on the circumstance, punishing her for something she can't control. Like, if she's just being a hyper, she literally can't control that very easily on her own. Like, autism and ADHD are not something that you can just punish out of a child. Stop it. Like, him and I were like, oh no. And we hesitantly opened our mouths and were like, yeah, no. No, considering the husband's autistic, he's like, yeah, no. I mean, again, these conditions aren't a free pass for being an asshole. You need to not be an asshole. But at the same time, we were just like, oh my. And the guy that had kind of been talking to us at the table next to us off and on, um, he was like suspiciously looking everywhere else but this woman. And I was just like, oh my god. I could only, like, I would have loved to have known what he was thinking at the time of this conversation going on. He was probably thinking, don't come over here, don't come over here, don't come over here. Because he was also a school teacher. But, you know, not all school teachers are decent human beings either. So, but I would like to think that they would have a little more, um, I don't know that empathy is the right word, but maybe understanding of how, yeah, that's not how that works. Like, she just, like, kind of kept looking around, I guess, for people that were going to be on her side in this conversation, and we weren't really arguing with her. We're just, like, trying to gently explain that, yeah, no, that's not how that works at all. Yeah, I think that I am going to have a date lined up with my recording stuff with this particular piece. In the very near future so that I could try to get some more of this done. But once I get a bit more bookshop them recorded, I'll be a little bit more comfortable. I like having a good padding on that recorded, even if I don't edit it right away. Just having it done and available to edit, because it usually doesn't take me that long to slap the intro card and the end card on it and just kind of cut out any empty space in the middle for me transitioning between the recordings. Like that itself maybe takes me 10 minutes tops. But then I have to render it. So the actual rendering could take anywhere from 20 minutes to 45 minutes, depending on length of episode. Where'd you go?
I got in the shower.
Oh. Did you pick the mat up? Because you left it on the floor the other night. Okay.
There's food. Eat your food.
There's no Jimkin in it.
Well, there's some there.
There's no Cheetos. Therefore, we will boycott till we get Cheetos. Doesn't matter that we had... Hi. Yeah, mommy, do the thing. Lady. Lady, I'm just a cute doggy. I'm just a cute old man. And I am too short and don't have thumbs to open the Cheeto bag. Lady. Lady, you need to do the Cheeto bag. See how cute and old I am? I am just a doggo. I don't know how these things work. Or I am just a little doggo. Give me 1 second to deal with old man here. I'll be right back. Alright, sorry about that. I had to go to the bathroom. While I was up anyhow. Whew. Okay. There's that guy. Oh, helps if I don't bump it just a bit. Alright. That guy. So it's possible that I might need to rethread this one more time for just a teeny amount, but I don't know yet. I don't really know. Maybe it was a cat in the other room. Because I'm just not sure that what I've got left here is going to be fully enough to deal with this guy. I mean, we'll figure it out here. Eventually. But we do have a fair number of stitches here still to go. Let me do a weather check here. Now that stuff could be a problem for us. But it's got a little while to get here. if it's even coming in our direction. For which I am not sure. I don't see a little directional storm tracky bitty bob on there on the radar. So that is going to remain a mystery. Okay. That. Works into there. Right, as I start to work my way back through. This whole section here. What direction is... that could be. I don't know. That might sideswipe us. What do you have? It's a piece of plaster. Now, you can't have plastic, God. You have enough problems right now. You don't need to be compounding that. Let's not. Excuse me. Alright, so... yeah, we'll just keep an eye on it for now. I don't see anybody live covering anything. So we are probably good, at least for the time being. So let me see here if I can try to backtrack and try to fill this spot in. Did those files ever come?
Tomorrow.
Oh, I thought you said that they were coming on Thursday.
Oh, maybe they changed it. I don't know.
Okay. This up and through there. Really, that one's just gonna be a bit of a butthead, so that's what I was saying. I might have to do one more re-threading. I'm not certain though, but I will not be surprised. If I do. I'll be more pleasantly surprised if I do not. To be perfectly honest. Your Animal Crossing New Horizons avatar is currently wearing a girlish hairstyle, but I plan dressing it up with an outfit that would make it look like a Japanese samurai or a Japanese civilian. Interesting. That is one game I have never played. Mostly because we don't have a Nintendo Switch. That's the only way you can play Animal Crossing, right? Is with the Switch? Husband?
Huh? What?
The only way you can play Animal Crossing is with a Switch, right?
I have no idea.
It's like exclusive to...
Well, there's more than one Animal Crossing. Let me see if they have any on PC.
Oh, goodness. We've got ourselves into... Oh, I had a couple of snaggy snooze under here. Ugh.
Yeah, no, you'd have to get an emulator to do that.
Yeah.
Which, not worth doing.
For me, no. If I was interested in more than one game, uh-oh. Maybe. Where? Dang, burn it. We've got quite not situation. I can't do anything about that one. That one's too far gone. An emulator. Yeah. That's okay. I've got more than enough on my plate to keep me busy. Especially with Grimshire that I haven't had the time to play recently. Probably like a very, very horror story-esque Animal Crossing. Not really a horror game, but it's definitely a dark farming sim. With very, very strict deadlines that you have to meet. Or else the villagers start disappearing permanently. They create situations that happen to make them vanish. I missed one quest deadline in Grimshire because I had no idea where to even get the one item that they wanted. No idea. I don't even know what it was. It might have been some kind of mushroom, but I'm not sure. They never really explained where I got it from, and I didn't look it up because I thought I'd find it. And there's no forgiveness if the deadline is short. If you miss it, they had the character attempt to do the thing that they needed the quest stuff for without the quest stuff, and he did not survive doing the thing that he wanted the quest objects for. And then they make you attend the funeral. Like, oh my. And I'm not even on the original difficulty that the game was meant to be played on, and I'm just like, oh boy. Oh boy, indeed. I was thinking of trying to do a playthrough and stream it at the original difficulty level, but I don't know, man. I'm struggling enough as it is to keep up with what they want me to do. Like, you want me to do what? And every time I'm kind of chugging through what they want me to do, they're like, oh, we need you to go do these 4 other things within like the next 3 days, which is going to hamper your ability to complete this larger task. Have you ever played Ark, Palia, or Story of Seasons? I played a little bit of the MMO Palia, that was free on Steam, but I don't think that's the same one that you're talking about. It could be. Story of Seasons, I tried to play the demo, I think, or I ended up getting one of the versions of it that was on sale for like $5 or something on Steam, and I couldn't play it. And I can't remember why. Something was going on. I'm like, yeah, I can't do this. I don't know if it was control issues. It might have been a remapping issue where they were like, you have to use a controller or these things on the keyboard, and I didn't like using the controller. It felt clunky to me. And then it wouldn't let me rebind what I was trying to do. At least on the one version at that time. But I still have Echoes of Plum Grove to get into, which I think is going to be sort of similar to Grimshire, but not exactly. Because in Grimshire, I also have to come up with food to help feed the town. Like, the town is collectively, like, pooling food resources. Plus, there's these pirates now that are, quote unquote, protecting the town that we now have to feed, or else they will murder us if we don't. And they want way more rations than the original army wanted. And you have to come up with those ration amounts by a specific day. Plus have town food for the town, like, on top of it. I feel like I kind of got...
Did you answer about Ark?
Huh?
They also asked about Ark.
Ark? No, I've never played Ark. No.
Yeah, we're not going to try to have her play Ark. The base premise is fine, but the resource gathering would drive her mad. I have played it, and no, I know better.
How bad is the resource gathering for Ark?
It depends on your settings, but it is a very, very frustrating game.
So, is this the same Ark that Neebs
Yes.
and crew were playing?
Yes.
Okay. So how is it frustrating? It didn't seem all that bad, but they didn't show that much resource gathering.
Yes, that's because they cut a lot of stuff that happens between their hijinks.
Like, they showed a little bit of chitin farming, but that was it.
Yeah.
And a little bit of metal farming.
It's very fucking involved. There's a lot of shit involved in that game. I do not think you would enjoy the complexity.
I mean, my thing is, I'm not that into dinosaurs.
Well, I mean, like, even like the complexity in the building is not the kind that you tend to go for.
What do you mean complexity in building?
The way that they handle the resources you need generally involves a lot of grunt work for very little progress. All right, so you know how in Minecraft you gather your blocks and you build your stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine if you needed to gather 10 blocks for every block you build.
Okay.
It's just so much grunt work for so little payoff. And with you not doing anything multiplayer, it's even worse because you don't have anyone to help you.
How much is Ark anyway?
Oh, I don't even know how much it is nowadays.
I was gonna say that's.
They don't generally discount it unless it happens because they released a new version. So
I was gonna say that's not gonna be a free to play, right? Because right now, with the shitstorm of information that was dumped in our lap, it's going to be very questionable as to whether or not I can get Planet Zoo 2.
no, we're gonna get it. You get too much value out of it.
Well, it kind of
Seriously,
depends.
enough. You didn't eat any of the food I
Buddy,
gave you. Go chill the
he
fuck out.
he ate a little bit,
Yeah, well, there's a shit ton there, and I tossed a whole bunch out too.
but I don't know. Buddy, if this is you being mad about other things, we can't go do other things. It's too hot, and it's very dark out now. And you weren't going to get other things regardless because of how hot it was today. You'll burn your little feet. We're trying to be good doggy parents here. And you are old man, and you're not going to tolerate being out in the hot very well. You were panting sitting here. I'm not going to take you outside where it's worse. It's very much worse outside. At least in here you have fan. Your shit talking messages will just have to wait. I did not need to rethread that. So yeah, no, never done Ark. I've seen versions of Ark played. But so I will say it did look like there was a lot of traveling involved to find your resources in Ark for what little I did see. I tried Palia for a little bit, but I got bored real fast. I was having trouble with some of the stuff too. I think I might still have it installed, but I tried Paleo Pines, but I had to use my controller to get around, which, again, I'm not a fan of using a controller in those kinds of games. I want to use my keyboard, because trying to navigate the dinos in Paleo Pines was driving me crazy. Because I had to use like both directional joysticks at the same time. And I was just getting mad. I was like, no. This is not fun. Like, I wanted to play it. I was enjoying what little I did get done in there, but I've done Stardew Valley. We're in the middle of a playthrough in Stardew Valley, actually. I've done Coral Island. I've tried RimWorld a little bit, a couple of times. I get bored after a while, and I'm like, yeah, no, this isn't doing it for me. I've done Honey, I Joined a Cult. Bear and Breakfast was fun, but I don't know that there's all that much replay value in Bear and Breakfast, if I'm going to be perfectly honest. Because once you play through it once, it's kind of like, okay, now what? Kind of thing. And from what I've seen, they haven't added more stuff to it. Yeah, I'll think about it. Like I said, I don't know how far I got in Palia. I don't remember. I just kind of got bored. It felt like it wanted to be WoW, but not in a good way. And I was just like, eh. Supermarket Together is fun. We haven't done that on stream yet. We might at some point, because that is free. And I was enjoying that as a chill, somewhat chill, fuck about game. What was it? Supermarket Chaos came out with, was kind of similar to the Arcane Library game, but not as well made. But they have been doing updates on Supermarket Chaos. I haven't really had time to fuss about with the 2 maps that got added since I played it, which I want to do. Oh, I'm gonna need to put a new sheet of contact paper on this desk soon. It is starting to get some air bubbles on this corner here. Okay, we're gonna work on feet. I know I've skipped that. We'll come back. So, satin stitch. I'm not a huge fan of satin stitch, but how do we do this with satin stitch? That is a good question. I've got a couple different, like, I've got a decent amount of games that I can get into. I'm not lacking for stuff to do on the channel. I might be at loose ends for what I want to do on the YouTube channel at times, but I will say when you start breaking down, when I started breaking down Bookshop Sim into like 30-minute sessions, we're gonna be doing that game for a while. Excuse me. That might carry me through till, oh, dang it, maybe November, December. Like, we're gonna have that one for a little bit. And I did want to do, eventually, another playthrough on Honey, I Joined a Cult. Picking a different theme eventually. If time allows, you know, because I do only have so many hours in the day that I can work on stuff. In fact, I was trying to get the amount of recording done this week that I have, because I wanted to try to paint this weekend. providing I don't have a migraine, because we're gonna also try to redo my hair. And that's going to be a little bit involved. Which is why I was saying I might be doing mostly editing on Saturday, because we have to bleach my hair. Dang, burn it. We have to re-bleach my hair, and then we need to re-pinkify it. Or it's more like a fuchsia. But as it fades out and lightens, it looks more pink, but it's more of like a purple pink when it first goes on. Oh, I need to remember to message Lita. I need to tell her happy birthday. I actually think technically today was her birthday. With time zones and everything. I think today was the 7th in Australia. I can't keep my time zone straight here half the time. Oh, of course. So, because I'm working so tightly in here, I keep coming back up through the hole I just went through. And that's a me issue for how I'm choosing to do this stitch. I very much know that. Trying to do like a thread saver version of the satin stitch, which usually isn't so bad if the thing is a little bit bigger and I can see where I'm at a little bit better. Okay, so I don't really know how I'm going to handle these feet here. I just kind of picked a spot to start going at it. Maybe we'll try to keep this straighter piece going down to the middle little toe here. Oh gosh, I have to do 6 of these feet. Actually, what if I do you like this and keep coming straight across here? I'm still in frame, right? Kind of. Oh, sorry, didn't realize I had that turned upward quite that much. Sorry about that. But we can kind of see them. So I'm gonna try to get some embroidery plus colors that I've been wanting for a while. Can't get them just yet though. I am waiting on a payment so that I can place that over. We will take this guy down here. Now my satin stitches are a little bit of a mess here on this foot, but I'm going to tell myself that chicken feet are a little bit all over the place here. They've got a little bit of texture on them. They have that look to them, right? So this doesn't need to be 100% perfect. You know what? I'm going to do a traditional wrappy around satin stitch for this tip of the toe here. Just so I'm not constantly fighting with coming up out of the spot I just went down. Because I know me, and I can see how tight of a space that is. Come up here and start to work in on this toe. These toe lines are so small. And they expected you to fill this in with that honking needle they gave us? They like gave a huge cross stitch needle that was way thicker than the one I'm using, which was quite baffling. Especially with how delicate some of these snowflakes are. So no, this is not the needle that came with the kit. This was my own needle. And I did make a couple modifications to the colors on here. The green, the darker green is what came with the kit. The lighter green was mine. And I'm going to be modifying the color of the snowflakes as well. They gave a white, but the white on the white is going to be really hard to see, especially the person that this is for cannot see that well. when I first saw the sample, I thought the background color of this was going to be like a tan. It was not, obviously, as we can see, a tan color. Surprise! And it was a little bit of a surprise because a kit I got from, granted, another company, did have a colored fabric. Had like a vintage muted pink for its background color. That's not so bad. I'm gonna do one more stitch across there just because that was looking a little suspicious for how it was laying. I don't want any issues. I have enough issues of my own. I don't need you giving me issues with your toes. Miss Chicken. So if we could just not do that, that would be great. Okay, so that there. Now I know that I still need to fill that in. I am waiting to fill that in for a little bit until I get to that color on one of the other chickens. Because there's a teeny bit of that color supposed to be here. And then this color is a lot on here. So I'm going to wait till we're ready to start that chicken to do the brown on these ones. Because then I can just jump right into that. If I have any of it left on the needle. I don't want to waste a piece, right? And then have it be like this really weird length. Okay. Ooh. My leggies are angry. My leg joints just hurt. I can't sit how I usually sit. I'm used to sitting with my legs straight out. And I haven't been able to do that because of Bean. Alright, you have a good night. Thank you for stopping in. Hopefully it won't be as hot tomorrow. And have a good night. Speaking of, what's our weather situation up? Yeah, we might get a piece of that in a little while. We might get a rumbly bit here. Maybe in an hour or so. We'll see how far we can get. We're not as far as I was hoping to be tonight. I feel like I'm constantly falling behind. So I might try. Like, I don't know when I'm gonna start doing off-stream work on this one, recording it. We'll see. Because now I don't know if I have to do the other kits.
Oh, don't worry about them for now.
I kind of have to because they take time to do. It's not something I can just whip out in like 2 days. But now I have no idea if they're even going to be in town. And at the moment, I'm all kinds of salty about stuff, so I'm probably not in the best decision-making place in regards to that. Maybe I will take a personal project to work on while I'm away. I don't really know yet. A lot of that might depend on if we can find out anything tomorrow. Hopefully, the person that the husband's talked to previously in an adjacent matter about a similar situation will be there and we can talk to her. But we will see. The other toes don't look so bad. I mean, they don't look perfect. Like, I wanted to stream working on the husband's piece, so I won't be trying to whip up the mock-up on that. I won't be like rushing that because I did want to stream it. Kind of wanted to stream working on my brother's, and I can't really work on it while I'm down there. In case he decides to grace us with his presence. Because I never know with him. The last time we were down there, he only turned up once to see our mom. When she wanted to see him. And I was kind of mad about that. Like, our stay was even extended down there because of the ice storm. If it hadn't been extended, I don't know that he would have stopped by at all. It's not like it's around the corner. It's a whole, like, ass 16, 17-hour drive to get down there. It's definitely not something we can just do on a whim. I do hope that the stamped design does actually dissolve off of here once I get it wet like it's supposed to. Or else we're gonna have quite the mishmash of colors happening with these snowflakes. Okay. And that might be a wee bit awkward. Just a wee bit. Okay. That is there. Have to figure out what color I'm gonna paint my brother's hoop. This one I think I might do like a hunter green. Or like a Prussian green, something like that. Something dark along those lines. One more. I will say, I was really disappointed tonight because I had had a box of Italian ice that I've been slowly working through in the freezer. And I thought I still had one or two left in it. I was like, you know what? It's hot. After dinner, I was all sorts of melty. I was like, I'm gonna eat one of those last remaining Italian ices so that way we can get this box out of here. So like the little cups of Italian ice. And I'm trying to dig the box out and the box ripped in my hand. I was like, oh, and I got mad. So I pulled it forward. Box was empty. I was like, I thought I still had two in here. It's completely empty. Now, I don't know if they've escaped the box and are loose somewhere in the fridge or in the freezer. I did not have the patience to dig through the mess that is our freezer at the moment. I kind of wish my mom would eat a couple of the TV dinners that she bought a while ago. I think she may have forgotten about them, but I'm not sure. I may need to remind her that they are still in there. Just to make sure that she knows they're there. Oh my gosh, if we take over your mom's room, I'll be able to hang up my clothes. I'll be able to get some hangers. I haven't been able to hang stuff up since we moved here. Had to have like everything folded in a couple storage containers. Because there is a distinct lack of closets in this house. I don't understand why, but there very much is. Like, did people not need closet space in the 20s? Like, I don't understand. Oh no. Not again. Come on. No, no. Don't make it worse, please. There we go. I was gonna say, please no. The knots are a little bit easier to get out when you're doing 3 strands. I think compared to 2. So I feel like you've got enough density that you can get your needle in there. When it's the 2 strands, it seems like there's not enough room to get your needle in. You know, as I was pulling that up, I was like, I think I came up through the same one. Based on how that looks at the moment. And yeah. Yeah, I did. still have the beak to do. I don't know if I'm gonna have enough on here. To complete the beak. We might. The beak's kind of small. Alright, so get that guy in there. Okay. Oh dear. Did it again. I did it again. Don't know how I managed to do it again. But I very much managed. There we go. Probably because of the way I had my finger on the back of it. Trying to make sure I didn't snag. And then, in turn, created a snag. More than likely. Dang, burn it. I'm like, oh no, this looks like a good spot. I'm just gonna keep coming up through the same hole again. And I'm gonna have to do the stitch the other way. So I don't have to deal with the silliness. Okay. Now, I think I can get up there. Is it wise to do it that way? Let me see. So satin stitch on the beak. I mean, it is a good ways up here. But we will do what we can. That's the seam hole. So we'll go that. Yeah, like I'm just not sure if I should have done this. It's like one whole solid piece and then just came back and did a line to split the beak where the opening was. Not sure what would have been the best haul here. Maybe we'll get a piece of that. The part that I thought was going to be a problem for us kind of melded into a different storm. And that might go just to our west. Dang, burn it. I didn't necessarily want the thunderstorm, but I did want the rain. Like anything to cool things down a bit. Would be deeply, deeply welcome. Especially at this point. Is that a snag I feel? I have to remember I've got some slightly janky stitching from doing the little whitey poofs. I think when we finish up this guy, though, we will be done for the night. Because my back is angry. I can clean up that edge a teeny bit when I go to do the red on the face. Not like incredibly worried about that. That I'm okay with. Right now I'm trying to figure out what I want to do about this leftover orange on this needle. I still have like another strand of orange, like a 6 strand. And I still have 2 more sets of 2, 4, 6. Yeah, I still have 2 more 2-strand sets. And I've shown that 1 2-strand set got this foot done and the beak. With a good amount left to go. So I think I might sacrifice that bit. I don't know, actually that might have been a knot there. An unplanned knot. Oh, lovely. That's alright though. It was close to the fabric. It happens, especially with me. Even when I try to be careful. It's gonna happen. Alright, so let me put this up there so I know where it's at so when Katos get it. So not too bad. I did get the red done, the dark red. And the only thing I have left to do on this guy is the red here, here, and here, and I need to do the little eyeball and the brown, but the brown has to wait. So I'm thinking next time I'm going to take that black color and do my eyeballs. So these stop looking quite so soulless. And sorry, there was a detail here and I'm like, why? That is so tiny. I was like, what am I supposed to do there? It's supposed to be red. So I think next time I'll do the black eyeballs on everybody. And then I'm going to grab the orange again and finish out the beaky boos on these guys and then try to get their feet done so that they're done. And then I might just work on the red, the other shade of red on their faces. And then kind of go from there. I think. Is what my plan is going to be. We'll see. I could change my plan by then, but that is my tentative plan. So, tomorrow, we're gonna try to get Planet Zoo in tomorrow. They are calling for a chance of storms tomorrow night. I just don't know when tomorrow night. So make sure you're following on Blue Sky. If I need to cancel, I will post there. Just so you have a heads up about that. I'm going to try to get it in, but you know, we'll see. There will be no bonus stream, like I said earlier. This week I am busy this weekend. So I hope to see everybody tomorrow. Hopefully Planet Zoo happens. So I'd like to get a little bit further on our current zoo. We have to do that lighting pass on the walkway. And then I was going to start plotting out the restaurant that I'm going to put in across from that boat ride station, so people will have a reason to use that station to get off, to go to the restaurant, and then, you know, get back on. So let's play with that. So I hope to see everybody tomorrow. Don't forget to follow the social links down below. Those will take you to the Ko-fi, the Blue Sky, and the YouTube channel. And until next time, everybody, have a good one.